Good afternoon. In 1993, after a severe rainstorm, an outbreak of cryptosporidium from animal manure in Milwaukee's drinking water caused 86 deaths and sickened 430,000 people. Cryptosporidium is a microscopic parasite that causes diarrhea disease. Cryptosporidium is also the most frequent waterborne disease among human beings in the United States. The escalating contributor to cryptosporidium is factory farms' failure to contain manure management and to prevent it from entering our valued water sources. Factory farms are identified by possessing 1,000 or more livestock per farm. In 1993, my wife was one of those 430,000 people impacted by cryptosporidium in Milwaukee's drinking water. Water is critical to our daily lives. Thus, I propose that each of us send a letter to our congressional representative requiring effective environmental controls on factory farms. We must protect our drinking water, lakes, and streams, and first we will examine the factory farm problem, what is the cause, and providing a solution to end this health threat. Factory farms produce so much manure that farmers apply it to land quantities that exceeds the soil's ability to absorb. On average, with states with high concentration of factory farms are experiencing 20 to 30 serious water quality problems as a result of simple, poor, or lack of manure management by the factory farm. In 1992, Wisconsin registered its first factory farm. And today, the state maintains 237 factory farms. According to an analyst by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Wisconsin recorded volume of manure spills had reached 1 million gallons in 2013. In my investigation, the last manure spill that I could find occurred on September 18th of 2014, involving 640,000 gallons spilling from a lagoon in Door County, Wisconsin. Do you think those residents or public are aware of the public issues associated with cryptosporidium infection? In most healthy people, a cryptosporidium infection produces a watery bout of diarrhea. The infection lasts 1 to 2 weeks. However, a person with a compromised immune system or a child under the age of 5, cryptosporidium infection can become life-threatening if not properly treated. In fact, not all public water treatment systems are prepared to protect groundwater, lakes, and streams. Let me give you an example. Dunn County, which includes UW Stout Campus, also registers 2 factory farms. 2 of 7 of its municipal water systems in the county have wellhead groundwater protection plan. However, none of those 7 has a wellhead protection ordinance. So as of 2010, pollution from livestock operations has left 4,000 acres of lakes, 377 miles of creek and rivers too polluted to allow simple public use for swimming and fishing enjoyment in the state of Wisconsin. Because public reports of animal waste entering our groundwater continues, we must identify the root cause. Whereas sewage treatment plants are required for human waste, no such facility or legislation exists for livestock waste. In fact, factory farms use a lagoon holding system where they pump raw manure, transport, and eventually placement into their fields. Today, I've identified manure management failures by factory farms in 2-fold areas. 1, lagoon leakage, and applying manure quantities that exceed the soil's ability to absorb. 1, factory farms are not properly installing safety liners in the waste lagoons prior to use, and in addition, they are not continuing to maintain those liners through the life of that lagoon. Number 2, factory farms are producing more manure than they can safely dispose. So as a result, storm water runoff from fields carries the pollutants from the manure into Wisconsin's lakes and rivers. This is an example of a factory farm following a severe rainstorm. You no longer can find the factory farm's lagoon because it's underwater. So you can imagine this is the beginning of a groundwater problem, and eventually this can regress into lakes and streams if nearby. In February of 2010, an investigation completed by the Wisconsin State Journal found that in the past 7 years, the Department of Natural Resources had not revoked a permit from a factory farm after failure to meet pollution standards. We need farmers to manage the waste from their factory farms, and we need your actions to safeguard our environment. We must take action in the next 48 hours to protect our country's valued water source. The DNR, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Department of Agriculture must increase regulatory efforts on water pollution from our factory farms. We must continue to require reductions in discharge to the waterways and enforce existing federal and state law. The DNR can provide or create a web portal for which citizens can submit allegations of groundwater contamination or any form of pollution, and allowing those results to be placed by the DNR and those citizens being able to review the results of the investigation. Third, the EPA, Environmental Protection, must implement and enforce appropriate environmental rules on ongoing certifications to prevent factory farm pollution. In addition, continuing to educate those individuals operating the factory farm. So today I've attached a website that contains a PDF file document on factory farming, providing a lot of detail. In addition, a policy action letter that you can send to your local congressional representative. Today we have disclosed the extent of the factory farm problem, we've identified the causes, and we provided a solution to end the health threat. Water is critical to our daily lives. Thus, send a letter today to your congressional representative concerning effective environmental controls on our factory farms. So in closing, according to the DNR, 70% of Wisconsin residents use groundwater for their main source of drinking water. Factory farms are threatening that groundwater, our environment, and our health. Together, our actions today will safeguard our country's valued water source.